Hello, so today I chose the bench press as my exercise to demonstrate for y'all and to show you how to do. This is an exercise that primarily works the upper body, but it also engages the core as well as a little bit of the legs as well if you do it correctly. And it is really versatile actually for just about any sport, especially football though, and any sort of pushing motion that you do with your upper body. So that can be basketball, that can be football, that can be lacrosse, it can be a lot of stuff. So some movement preparation that's involved with the bench press. There's really three main ranges of motion that you should make sure that you can do without assistance and without any pain, and that's shoulder flexion and just shoulder mobility in general. Make sure you can move your shoulders, both of them, full range of motion without any pain and without any assistance. Also your elbow flexion and extension. You want to make sure that there's no pain whatsoever there on both sides. And then also wrist, you want to make sure your wrists are able to move back, especially because they're going to be about like this during the actual exercise. So make sure that this doesn't hold any pain, just in a standard form like this, and just make sure your wrists don't have any problems. So after that, we can get into some warm-up exercises. So there's many options here, but a couple of my favorites are first the incline push-up. It's just a little bit easier than the normal push-up. You can follow me over here. Find just an elevated surface that you can lean up against it. It's just much easier than a regular push-up. And so I would recommend doing something along the lines of 1 or 2 sets of 15 of those. Those are just very good to warm up all the muscles involved, which are primarily obviously pectoralis majors, the triceps, and a little bit of the anterior deltoid. So that's one. You also can do shoulder circles. There's close circles. I do a couple of variations of this, and I'll show you those. So you have small circles. You just make your arms go in small circles like this. You can also make the circles a little bit bigger, which increase that range of motion of your shoulder there, and then you can go all the way big, about as wide circles as you can make. So those are all in the same direction. Make sure there's no pain there, and that'll warm up all your shoulders, a little bit of your pecs, and having your arms extended, you can work a little bit of your triceps there as well. And then you can reverse those and do the exact same thing, just going the other direction with all three of those variations. So those are a couple more, and then the resistance band is another one that is a very good exercise for stretching out the pecs. And it's basically you just bring it behind, and that just stretches out all the fibers of your pecs. And there's kind of just move it back and forth. Then you can also use posts and kind of just twist your body, and that stretches all of the fibers here in your pectoralis major, as well as a little bit of your anterior deltoid. I'll give you maybe one more. You can do some crossbody. This is primarily, it stretches your tricep, but it also stretches a little bit of your lat, which your latissimus dorsi, which is engaged as well in a proper formed bench press. So you just grab your elbow, bring your arm behind your head, and just kind of twist. You can feel the stretch both in your tricep and in your lat, like I was saying, and then you can cross and do those. So all of those I would do a couple sets of maybe 10 to 15 seconds, probably more like 15 seconds of the static stretches, and the bands as well, just maybe 15 seconds or so. And then one more that I like to do, just to kind of round it all off, is crossbody swings. Kind of like Michael Phelps, you've probably seen him do this. Just kind of makes all of the rotator cuff, it should be warm by then. Also engages the pecs and lets them stretch a little bit in an active range of motion. So, all right, so now we're going to get into the demonstration of the bench press. This is just standard flat bench. So first thing you want to do, you want to establish 5 points of contact. First two being your feet. I would recommend, and that's another cue as well that you'll hear a lot of coaches say when you're bench pressing, is to find your feet. So there's a lot of variation. Some people have many different opinions on what's ideal, but a good rule of thumb just to start out, I would recommend having your feet kind of flat on the ground, while also having them as far back as you can while you're laying on there. So I'll go ahead and lay down on the bench right now. And so those are the first 2 points of contact are your feet. Your butt is the third point of contact, and then you have 2 more, which are your upper back and then your head. So now you have 5 points of contact established when you're in a bench press. Another cue would be to arch your back. This kind of gives you just a little bit better of an angle, as well as protecting your back and letting you use your core as well as your legs to drive through in the bench press. So moving on to grabbing the bar, first of all you want to have your head, your forehead or your eyes are the 2 most common places to start. Move your body to where your forehead or eyes are right underneath the barbell, and then make sure your hands are in standard position, which is just both palms facing down if you're like this, and then I usually line my pinkies up with the 2 rings out here that are on most standard barbells, and then you just grab, make sure your thumb is wrapping on the other side. If you take them off, that is called a death grip, and it's a lot more dangerous, so I recommend keeping your thumb on the other side there. So you go ahead and dismount. Sometimes you have a spotter to help you dismount the rack off of the rack, and so then you try and keep your forearms about perpendicular with the ceiling. That's one thing I like to say a lot. And then when you bring down, go ahead and take a deep breath in. That increases your intra-abdominal pressure and stabilizes your spine as well as the rest of your body. It helps you to, it feels like it helps you create more power. So go ahead and go down controlled. Try and keep your forearms again pointing towards the ceiling, and then you'll have a big breath in. I'm just talking for the demonstration. And then go ahead and press up. When you press, a lot of people will say drive through your heels. Another cue people will say is break the bar, which is kind of the idea of breaking the bar like this. So keep that in mind. That engages your lats a little bit and just kind of stabilizes you all together. So all that put together, you have something like this. And that is 1 rep of a standard bench press. Thank you.